on what happened and the latest that you know?
Well, I'd like to first open up by saying it's with the deepest sadness and a heavy heart that we come before you. Earlier today, 2 Metra employees were injured while working out on a Metra Milwaukee North Line tracks, one fatally. The investigation still remains under investigation. We're doing a deep dive into the root cause of what exactly took place. And Metra remains very committed to safety to the family members of our railroad family. And having said that, right now our thoughts are going out to both the friends and the families of both employees.
The other man who was injured, do you have an update on his condition?
Hold on.
Sorry.
Just that beeping was what killed us. Sorry, I'm late. Okay.
At this time, we have no updates. Family members are still being contacted, so until the family members are contacted and the information is released to our authorities, we won't have the information as of yet.
Has OSHA been contacted?
Not to my knowledge.
What can you tell us about the employees? I know you can't say the name, but like their job titles and how long they've been with Metra.
Maybe even ages or sex.
Sure. Well, one I could tell you is the fatality was a 46-year-old male, approximately 17 years in the railroad industry. I didn't get an update on the other individual yet. As I said, a lot of that information hasn't been released. My main focus was to get out here today and see exactly what happened. So, So the work that they were performing today was a follow-up from work that they performed last weekend. We replaced the track diamonds just to the north of here last weekend, and they were out doing routine follow-up maintenance after an installation of such. And the incident took place just shortly before noon this morning.
Were they welding at the time? Is there any just general detail of what they were doing?
Well, the job entailed cutting some bolts off the tracks so they could cut the rail and then weld new pieces of rail into those pieces that they cut out.
Can you describe the nature of the work? Is it like routine work, something that they do all the time, or
Yes.
very dangerous?
We're very safe at what we do in the railroad industry. Before any job takes place, there's a safety briefing and a job briefing so everybody knows what they're going to be doing and everybody is very clear of what their job responsibilities are. But to answer your question, yes, this was routine maintenance. They do this very often.
Guess what chemicals were used in this? Like,
Well,
obviously explosion.
As far as chemicals, there's welding tanks that were involved in it, that oxygen and acetylene gas, which is common for welding or torch cutting.
The fire department had said in a tweet that this was an acetylene explosion. Can you confirm that?
I can't confirm anything at this moment. It's still under investigation.
An acetylene, a colorless gas. Why is that important to welding? Can you just kind of talk with us about the function?
Well, you mix acetylene and the oxygen, and that's how you get the flame to actually create the heat necessary for either welding or torching. And that's how the two are mixed. There's a combination of the oxygen and the acetylene.
You may have mentioned
Not being a welding expert, but I know that they're both used.
Me neither.
You may have mentioned this, the surviving victim, the extent of that person's injuries.
We don't know yet.
Okay.
The last time we heard, his family members were just arriving at the hospital, and until they are ready to release that information, we won't know yet.
Has this caused any delays? Are the tracks back open?
There was, I think, 1 or 2 trains delay. Of course, obviously, when the paramedics got here and the incident had taken place. But after that, trains have been coming by at a just a slower speed. Well, they would go by at a slower speed anyways because we have working crews out here.
What's going to be happening over the next several hours?
Well, we have to kind of take a step back. It's a hard thing when something happens to one of your own employees. We practice safety day in and day out. That's our culture. And when something like this happens, it's it's hard to handle. But we'll move on. But at the end of the day, we mourn the loss, and also hopefully a quick recovery for whatever our other employee is going under right now.